All right, so we're going to try to go from 0 to having a running web server on the AWS free tier in about 5 minutes. Let's see if we can do it. Maybe it won't be so fast, but first, starting from here, I'm just going to go to the AWS Console. So I'll just Google it to get the link. So here we go. So let's go ahead and go to the AWS Management Console. I'm going to log in as Chris Stanforth, one of the members of our consulting team here, and let's fill in the password. There we go. All right, so we are in. So we're going to want to create a server. We're going to want to create an EC2 server. So let's breeze through here. There are a lot of different ways to create one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and create one from scratch. You can see we have 3 running out here right now. And let's go ahead and launch a new one. All right, so it's going to ask us a bunch of questions, and we're going to note down some of these details. So it's going to ask us what operating system we want. There's a few new ones out here actually running Mac OS on the new Mac hardware. But let's go ahead and just pick an Ubuntu server. Pick Ubuntu 20, something new, and we're going to go on x86 architecture. Okay, we want to be on the free tier, so I'm going to pick the micro, and we're going to have a lot of details to configure here. So first thing is the VPC. We only have one VPC zone, so that's it. We're going to put it in this virtual private cloud. It's going to stay in the default subnet. I mean, we could say, for example, where we want it, but let's leave it in the default subnet. That's most of the behavior that we want to specify here. All these things we're going to leave as default. Storage, we'll stick a general purpose solid state drive on it, 8 gigs. That should be enough for our test here. Tags, right? We could add a tag if we want. This is, demo instance. There we go. Key, name, demo instance. And there we go. Let's give it a security group. So for security group, you can create a new one and manually specify all the different ports you want, or you can select an existing one. So I'm going to select an existing one, and I'm going to pick one that is for a public-facing web server. So you can see, what does this have? So it actually has HTTP enabled, and it also has SSH enabled. We are open to the world, right? We are going to allow HTTP in. We want to do that. And here we go. This is all of our details. So we've got our security group set up, and let's go ahead and launch it. One thing you'll have to do is create a key pair. I created a new one already called demo key pair, and we'll go ahead and launch it. We'll need that key pair to do the SSH login. So here they go. They're launching, and we can go over to our EC2 instances, and we will see the one that we just launched. Still pending. You can see it's public address. So here, right, let's take a note of this. What we're going to do next is we're going to go create a way to access it. If we went out to the web and we just went to this IP, we're not going to get anything back because there's nothing running on the server, even if it's online. So if we go see, it's pending. Okay, it's running. It's not going to respond to this request. And here, this one's actually going to have a DNS. So we can also try to open this one. Again, we're not gonna get a response there either. So if we want to get to it, right, we'd have to run some service that's going to respond to port 80. We're gonna give it a URL, so we can do that through Amazon's Route 53 service. So let's go ahead and do that. Route 53 is here. Let's go ahead and create a new one. So the domain name, let's go ahead and give it aws.andyreagan.com, right? So we'll subdomain off of my website. That's really all we need to create a hosted zone. All right, so we've done it. And now if we want to actually make this live, right, we need to give it we need to route traffic to the web server for it. These are our name servers. So if we want to open the name servers for it, let's go load up where andyreagan.com is hosted. So let's see. First, let's find it. I'm not sure which registrar it's at, so let's type it in, andyreagan.com. It's already registered. It's with 2 cows. Okay, let's do 2 cows, registrar lookup. So they host the domain record. So provider search, let's go ahead and plug in. We're looking for where andyreagan.com is. Okay, we can see this is hosted with InMotion hosting. So let's go to InMotion hosting. All right, let's go ahead and log in. Let's see, do I have anything saved? No, this is andyreagan.com. And let's see, so Andy at. Okay, and here we go. So let's see, let's go look at my domains. You can see how much it costs me. And we go to andyreagan.com. And let's see, let's point our domain. Okay, so these name servers are pointing to ZoneEdit name servers. So let's go to ZoneEdit. Let's log in. Shoop, we're in. Okay, 2 different domains hosted here. If we go to the DNS records for this domain, you can see where everything is pointing. The mail servers are actually at Google. Right? I run Gmail off the domain. And let's see, so if we want to add some name server records, this is where we're going to want to do it. So we could see back here at Route 53, right? We're going to have aws.andyreagan.com. Probably could have picked a better name, but we're going to go ahead and give that the name servers that are here. So I'm going to give it all 4 of them. And it did specify a TTL timing. So let's go ahead and give it that. Give it a longer time, I think. So there are 4 of them. So let's do all 4. And a little bit of redundancy built in here. Go ahead and take all 3, so I don't have to keep jumping back and forth. Let's take all 3. Let's take this one out. Take this one out. And there we go. All right, we have those name servers. Oh, don't want to click back. Click next. Confirm. Those are our new name servers. Done. So, name servers do take a little while to update. So we still have a little more work we can do. So what we want to do, right, this is our domain, so we want to create a record. So let's give it, it's going to be our demo. We want to route to a specific IP. So we didn't copy out our IP. Let's go back into the console and let's go to our EC2. Let's go find the one we just launched. And that was a micro. Let's see, which one was it? How long has it been alive? So it's going to be this one, public web server group. So what we want here is let's take the IP off of this guy and let's go ahead and hit it here. So this is our IP. Let's stick with the default here. And this will route demo.aws.andyreagan.com to that web server. Now again, right, we don't have any we don't have anything working here, but we should be able to go to demo.aws.andyreagan.com. And we don't get anything back. All right, well, let's go ahead and stand up something, so we'll get a page to respond. So let's open up a terminal window. Let's do just plain terminal. Okay, so I think that key pair is going to be in my downloads, right? So let's do SSH. That's the identity file, and we're going to log into, we did an Ubuntu server, and let's go ahead and give it the public DNS address that was in here. So let's click on this guy, and let's copy its public DNS address. And that should get us in. So we passed our identity file. As long as the identity file has the right permissions, then I think we'll be okay. Bad permissions, yeah. So you can see chmod change the permissions on that file. I think it's probably going to want 400 on that demo key pair. And let's give it another shot. All right, and we're in. So one thing we might want to do is sudo apt-get install. Let's just put a basic web server up, and this is gonna spin it up and run it. Let's make sure that it's running once it's installed, and then this will respond to port 80. So let's check service nginx start. So let's make sure the nginx is up and running. Authentication is required. Ooh, I don't have a password. Let's run that guy as sudo. There we go. Okay, and so now, if we navigate directly to AWS's DNS, boom, we're in. If we go to, well, let's try the direct IP. Same thing, of course, right? And if you go to the demo, it's working. So that all happened pretty fast for name server world. So there we go. We have a basic server up, and this is the server. Now we can take this nginx that we have configured here, and we can put it in front of our Flask app. So let's go ahead and do that next.